Hello again from Scouse Farm. I'm going to have to shout a little bit because I'm on the main road, but I've stumbled across St Patrick's Church at the bottom of Park Road in Dingle. And obviously I knew the church was here, but I've been lucky enough to bump into Tony, who tends to the grounds, and you can see there, got us a roller and freshly dug soil. So a little bit more Scouse Farm stuff. And in the background, behind that beautiful cross, we've got the Anglican Cathedral, which you'll have seen me in recently whilst I was filming in St James's Gardens. But Tony's with me now, and he's kindly allowed me to come inside with him to the burial crypt. So you'll hear Tony's voice on the camera while we're walking in. And apparently we've got 15,000 bodies buried under this church, or in the grounds of this church. And we're about to go into the burial room entrance to the burial vaults. So let's get in there.
The crypt.
The crypt.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the burial place of. There was 10 priests that died in the typhus epidemic, and 3 of them were from St Patrick's parish. And there was a brother Michael Marr. He was a teacher in St Pat's, and sadly he died of the typhus as well. And then the priests that died, the ones that are from St Patrick's, William Parker, Richard Grayson and James Hagger, they all died of the typhus. But we were allowed to open up the vault maybe 18 months ago, and it turns out there's an extra person buried in this vault, and it was William Parker. And William Parker had a short stint in St Patrick's, and then he was moved to St Vincent's down the road, and he was the first rector of St Vincent's in 1800. But then sadly he died of the typhus as well.
Wow.
And then these are 2 very, very large gravestones that were somewhere within the grounds. But if you can, that's the inscription on that one. That's like quite a religious inscription.
Hugh Rooney and Anne Rooney.
Yeah.
And a little prayer underneath. And then we've got a bit more underneath here.
Yeah.
And who are these then, John and Hugh and Anne Rooney? We've got Mariner, who died at sea on his home on African coast in South Nigeria. Old Swan, St Oswald's churchyard in Old Swan. They're both buried. That's where I'm from. That's my
Really,
local
yeah?
church. Yeah.
Right. Well.
And I've done a video about the mystery of the graves underneath.
Yeah.
That when they were digging out the school.
Well,
And we've got some more here.
in St Oswald's, they've got the same Stations of the Cross as what we've got here. They're like 3D.
3D.
Yeah.
And they're massive gravestones, aren't they? Though.
That is a massive
That
gravestone.
is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the lighting's not the best viewers, but I'm doing what I can to show you how tall this gravestone is that's been moved down here. And as you can see with the ratchet straps, trying to protect it because of the crack.
Yeah.
There's a big large crack going down.
That's the inscription.
And the inscription is what you've just read on the little notice plaques in the front there.
Yeah.
So they're huge. And what else have we got in this little underground cavern of mystery?
And then, if you come around here,
I've never been in a crypt before, so this is a first for me. Wow.
okay, so this is the burial vault for the priests. Okay.
And look at that, we've got the protruding brickwork and the sign of the cross there. And some more information about priests who are they're all buried on the grounds, I take it.
They're buried in that vault.
In this vault behind the brick though.
Got their own coffins.
So they're inside.
Yeah.
Where you can see now, viewers.
So we knew there was 3, but when we opened up this wall, we found Edward Walmsley that we didn't know about. Edward Walmsley.
That sounds really, really strange to hear when you say we dug up and found somebody else. That's just it's unusual, isn't it?
There was 4 coffins,
So they weren't like, it's sort of like stumbling across additional records, but the names plaques were on the coffin, so you could identify who was inside.
Yeah.
That's good enough. That's making sense.
And there's another vault.
Whoa, another one. And what's the reasoning for breaking them up? Is it just like when it's at capacity, you just break it up? Is that it? Yeah.
Well, this is the burial vault of the Marsh family. So they will have paid for that all them years ago, and they probably wanted it sealed up. That was the way they did things then.
Yeah, so nobody else can go in.
Yeah.
So stop. It sounds horrible. It's literally to stop people like robbing their graves, isn't it? And using what they've paid for. Oh no, what are all these items here? Let me just spin you around, and then.
These are all stuff that's come out the pits.
Oh, brilliant!
So there's like.
Start of this cross here. I love that.
There's
St.
18
Patrick's.
pits in the crypt. And
18
all
pits.
dug into solid sandstone. And they were used
Pilot
to bury
matches.
the people. And they're called charnel pits.
Yeah. Bottles from gone by days. So we've got this Snowdrop Liverpool. That's actually Liverpool on there as well, on the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
Just doing a video, mate. And oh, they're incredible. An old
Prayer book.
a prayer book with the hymns, the music, everything.
Yeah. And then an old shoe. That would have been a very wealthy kid, that, by the way, because that's leather.
Leather shoe.
Yeah.
A child's leather shoe. Look at this. What a little treasure trove I've stumbled across here today. This is brilliant, Tony. Thanks very much for letting me have a look in here. And even just utilitarian things like this, the watering can. And these could be from like the 1700s onwards, isn't it? Do you think?
That's an old collection tin,
That used to get rattled
pennies.
to throw a few pennies in, to help build the church.
Yeah.
There's some more hymn sheets on the side there. If you can see these, look at them.
Yeah.
Loads of hymn sheets from. I've no doubt they've been sung in the church above.
Yeah.
And pieces of statues here. You find any gold sovereigns?
No,
Oh.
I haven't found any money.
That's a shame.
And no wedding rings.
Everyone was poor though, weren't we? A lot of people were poor, so you're not gonna. People always say, "Oh, let's dig for treasure," and you're like, "Listen, you're digging in a working class area. You're not likely to find a box full of sovereigns, are you? Unless they've been stolen." A 2p.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that a hat?
I think that's part of a gravestone.
That on the top there, it looks like
That's an old. They must have used that. The undertakers must have used that for the burials.
That's an undertaker's hat, isn't it? Yeah, the tall hat.
That was dumped in one of the pits. And this pit here is the Berry family.
Sorry, let me spin you around again. And this one is the Berry.
The Berry family, yeah. They were obviously very wealthy as well.
The berries are buried in there.
Yeah.
Sorry. And the Roberts family are
This is
in
the
this.
Roberts family. Now this is probably the most interesting one of the lot.
Wow. And I know what he's pointing to there. I can see it and it's amazing. Look at that door.
This guy was buried behind this big iron door. And he died in March 1828. Now the church was only opened in August 1827. So literally months later, this guy is buried behind this big iron door, and for the next 20 years, members of his family were interred in that vault.
Wow. I'm going to have a little tap on that. Oh,
Yeah,
that is
solid,
ridiculous.
solid,
How thick is that?
The incredible thing is, we can't find a connection with Peter Roberts to this church.
So it makes you think how someone gets such a privileged spot in a church that's only recently opened.
He must have had a big connection with the church, but we know where he worked. He was a sailmaker. He lived in this area. We got a copy of his will, thinking he's left everything to St. Pat's.
Yeah.
And no, there's nothing in it. So we think all the Marsh family and the Berry family, we think all these people are interconnected in some way. They were the wealthy ones in the area.
Were sailmakers classed as wealthy? Were they, or did he own?
Well, I think
do you
that's
think he owned his own company to make
They had their
sails?
own business, yeah, so they must have been.
They, yeah. Liverpool was massive for sailing ships because my friend Emma, hello Emma, in the L8 cafe just up the way.
Yeah.
She has books on Liverpool sailing ships in her cafe,
Yeah.
but unfortunately people keep stealing the books. Yeah, because I passed the book into her and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, someone's robbed it."
Right. Now these are the burial pits.
I love this door. That's phenomenal.
So they're all full. These 1, 2. You can see 2 burial pits.
That looks like it's fresh. You haven't been down here with that
No,
shovel,
that's
have
just
you?
full of coke, hasn't it? They were covered with flagstones by the look of it, but then coke filled on top of it. But they're 30 foot deep.
30 foot deep.
30
Well,
foot
underneath
deep,
this
yeah.
little,
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like a
yeah.
cat scratched it up.
And there's another burial pit there. And if you look right to the back, there's another burial pit right at the back. There's 18 of them in here.
And how many people do you think are in these burial pits? If it's 18 foot deep, I imagine it's not just one individual.
No, there's quite a lot.
There's quite a few
lot.
contained within.
Quite a lot. So what would have happened? The people who died
Was
were
that
buried
it?
outside in the grounds,
Yeah.
and after a couple of years they were dug up, and the bones were brought into these charnel pits.
Charnel pits.
That's what they're called, charnel pits.
Not heard that
And
term
then in
before.
1850 something, there was an act passed in Parliament, the Burial Act,
Yeah.
and then these bones weren't allowed to be stored here, and they all had to be moved to a cemetery outside the Archdiocese of Liverpool. And I think Ford Cemetery opened up in 1850 something, and that's when all the bones were removed to Ford Cemetery. So there's nothing in there other than absolute rubbish.
Oh.
And we're trying to empty them now at the moment just to show some respect. And we're trying to turn the crypt into like a visitor centre, like a heritage centre.
That's a brilliant idea, because I'll tell you what, the people who watch my videos, a lot of them in this area are really interested in
Yeah.
local history. So this would be a really
It would.
brilliant attraction, and I'm just so fortunate that I bumped into you today. I can't thank you enough for letting me come in. Is that just like your little workstation, or is there anything that's to see in there?
Some work at the moment, yeah.
Nothing hiding in there, you know, like you're not brewing some homebrew on the sly, are you?
No.
Don't want to get you in trouble. Growing mushrooms.
No.
So if you put onward sail.
If you take a view down to the bottom, right to the bottom, there's the altar.
Can I walk down there? Is that right, or is it safe? I'll be alright, like I won't fall in, I don't think. Is that alright to walk over?
Yeah, that's okay, yeah.
I'll have a little bash of that.
But that's the solid sandstone that St. Patrick's is built on.
Is this the red sandstone from Woolton, do you think? From the Woolton quarries that the cathedral's built out of?
Do you know, I don't know.
Let's have a little look. You'll see if it's, it does look like it's on the floor. It looks like it to me. Yeah, that looks like it.
Yeah.
It looks underneath. You can't see on the video very well, but you can, the light showing up the red hue in the sand.
But that's the base that like the church was built on. So all this has been excavated. And there's another pit that you're looking at there now, you see,
Yeah.
right in front of you.
Let's have a look at that now. I'll just zoom in. And look at this. Peter's Holy School Foreign Pence Souls Fund Mission.
Yeah,
Priests Training Fund.
yeah. Well, they're doing it even now, aren't they? Even.
That's brilliant. This is it's just such a treat for me.
Yeah.
Bumping into you now. This is brilliant. Wow. But yeah, you can. I think you can see on the camera as well. You see how much red
Yeah.
we've got in this stone, and I know the cathedral itself down the way is built out of the quarried sandstone from Woolton quarries, Woolton and Gattaca, what it was at the time.
Yeah.
And just for the viewers again, you can see, for those who've got old houses with ceilings and you're not sure, it's not plasterboard. Well, this is what it looks like. It's called lath and plaster. And you can see these little timber slats, and then the plaster adheres to it, and obviously you can smooth off the surface. But when your ceiling collapses in an old Victorian or Georgian building, that's what you're faced with, and it is very messy.
Yeah. So that's what we need. We need some fundraising to get this ceiling repaired and a bit more.
Wow, look at
literature
that.
on the walls and things like that.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, but that's not going to be a cheap job, as you say.
No,
all under here,
very
this is
expensive job.
massive.
Yeah.
In the guts.
But if you walk along here now, you see more burial pits. They've dug into solid sandstone then.
Wow.
30 foot deep. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
There's another one that's like all these tin cans
more.
have come out of one pit alone. So all that stuff has just been dug out of this pit.
This is incredible. Look at all. Is that like are they like milk ends or something?
Well, I don't know what they were. They might have been oil.
Oil
some
or milk,
description.
isn't it?
I don't know.
Because if they're coming down, you'd think they have oil lamps, so they need to fill them up as well.
But if you look at the floor,
What's this here? That's got
it's
a
a
name on it.
vaulted floor.
Can't read
So
it.
it's one massive pit from here to the end where you were just standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. See the arch in the brickwork there.
Yeah.
So it's arched.
So we thought the bodies must have been buried under there, but then we dug down, and it's completely empty, and it's as deep as the other pit that I'm going to show you.
Such a mystery.
Yeah, and it is a mystery why they've done a vaulted ceiling like that for, for.
And they found nothing underneath.
Yeah,
that's where the treasure was. He's
Treasure,
obviously, that's where the sovereigns were that you've swooped, and you just pretended it wasn't in there.
So come along here.
Yeah. Where are we?
There's one that's like we've got a quarter down on that.
Oh my goodness. Is there, can that light get down there for us, please?
Yeah.
Sorry. You want to see this? This is mad. And I'm glad this... Wow, that's literally how deep these burial pits are. I hope you can see that, viewers, but for reference there, I'm just going to crouch down now. You can see there's the level of the floor where my finger's pointing now, and then everything below that's going down now into this burial pit.
That's only a quarter empty, that.
And it's a quarter of the way down compared to some of the other pits that have been dug. And you can see we've got a full ladder there going all the way down, and still there's another 3/4 to dig out. What a job you've got on your hands here. This is ridiculous, the amount of work you're doing.
Spin your camera around.
Oh.
Go down to that one. Now this is one we've nearly emptied.
Here we go. In 1854, all churchyards within the town boundaries were closed, including St. Pat's, sometimes after this. Oh, that's what you mentioned there, 1854, so it must have been around that time that the Burial Act was coming out. And I think I remember from the St. Oswald's video I did, where, you know, the people were trying to date the coffins that were found underneath because they were undated, but it is around that time that people had to be recorded, wasn't it? So you had to like put it in a central records office of who was in what grave, and you couldn't just be all thrown in a pit. But look how deep that is, and as you say, like, look at all of the marks on the side there. That's the tool marks of the sandstone. So imagine how difficult it was to dig out this sandstone to create these pits in it originally. Was that's like tool marks, isn't it, going all the way down the side of the walls? Someone's been in there mining and excavating. That is fantastic.
I think there's about another 2 foot of stuff to get out, but now it starts to get really difficult to get out because it's so deep. You've got to walk up that ladder with a bucket of heavy stone, or a bag of heavy stone. So
very back-breaking work. Any sort of underground digging, like the old miners were. They were heroes, man, to do that every day. Those long
and
shifts.
There's a skeleton of a dead cat.
Whoa, for cat lovers, turn away now, close your eyes. I'm a cat lover, but you're about to see CSI Moggy.
Yeah.
That is a Moggy.
Yeah.
And, oh, poor little sausage, look.
Yeah.
That's a big eye socket there. It's like an alien. Yeah, go with the aliens again.
Okay, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's not a cat, that's an alien. This is now officially an alien autopsy video.
Yeah.
Because that's one of our creators. I feel like I should bow.
And there's a bit of a story to go with that. So take a shot of that.
Tom, warning animal bones. It's the crypt cat found naturally mummified at the back of the crypt in the area that would be under the altar. Oh my God. It is ridiculous. And I know I've gone across a lot of these information plaques, but just pause the video if you want to read up on it any further, and then you can see all of the information. Wow.
Now, the information's there, but it was a guy called Tom Fitzgerald that found it at the back of the stuff at the altar there.
Yeah.
and he was talking with a pal of his in Manchester or something, and his mate was a poet, and he said, I wouldn't mind writing a poem about this dead cat. So he wrote a poem about the dead cat in St. Pat's,
Yeah.
and lo and behold, it got published in a poem book, and there's the poem that he wrote.
Wow. So this is a published poem about the St. Pat's cat, and I'm not going to read it to you now, but you can obviously pause the video and read it at your leisure. And I'm still mesmerised by this mummified moggy, which I won't show my cat. Start crying if I show her this. Well, this is fantastic. Well, this has been brilliant, and I'm delighted that the viewers have got a chance to see inside here. So it's just gone over 20 minutes. I'm just gonna, unless you've got anything major to say now,
I'm going to take you in the church and show you the Stations of the Cross that are in St. Oswald's.
let's go then. You're gonna have to hang on, viewers. We're not stopping now. We're soldiering on into the actual church itself. So let's get up in there.
You just carry on walking.
Yeah. Oh, bit of fresh air. I've literally just popped out of the crypt. So while we're waiting for Tony, I'll just give you some glimpses of the statue on the front, which is very, very, very beautiful. And he's going to take me in the church now, so away we go. How very Roman. Tony tends to the gardens. You can see on the side here we've got still, even though we're just about to come into December, the garden looks fantastic. And we're about to step inside the church. Wow. That's some bell there.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's from St. Malachy's. St. Malachy's got knocked down about 25 years ago.
And this was salvaged then and brought to St. Patrick's.
Yeah.
Okay, viewers, we're now about to see some sort of special cross, which is it the same type as the one in St. Oswald's, or?
No, completely different. Stations of the Cross are the same. I think they're the same as St. Oswald's. Them Stations of the Cross.
This thing?
Yeah, they're the Stations of the Cross. I think they're in St. Oswald's as well.
Wow. I'm just going to spin around and show the ceiling there. You can see a bit of flaky paint there. That again, is that the fun to try and help get the ceiling sorted?
That's where we need funds.
I mean, the scaffolding alone to get up there is going to cost a few, but let me just show you this unbelievable mural, I think you'd call it, at the back. Painting. 1834.
34. Well, the artist was De Kaiser, his name was.
De Kaiser.
And it was painted for a church in Manchester, but they suffered a really bad fire, and the building structure itself was badly damaged, so they needed to find a new place where this could hang.
Wow.
And St. Patrick's was a lucky recipient.
Wow. And I'm really, really glad to hear that the church is still in use, because so many churches have closed down in this area and being turned into student flats and things.
St. Pat's is alive and kicking.
Happy days.
Entering its 3rd century now, so still going strong. If you spin round and take a look up at the organ.
Oh my word. Well, I bet you that belts out a cracking tune when the hymns are getting sung.
It's still working, and it's still in use.
This is fantastic. This is just such a privilege to see this.
Yeah.
It's been that long since I've been in an old interior of a church I've not seen yet.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised, you always find something new.
Well, you're not the only one that walks past St. Pat's on Park Road and don't even know it's a church.
Yeah.
So
Shame.
So yeah, it's good that you're advertising the place.
Well, thank you very much, Tony, and thank you very much for watching, viewers. 25 minutes, so I'll let you go now. He's going to show me something more.
I'm going to give you an information sheet on
Yep.
St. Patrick's, and that'll give you a brief summary of St. Patrick's.
Brilliant.
But most importantly, it'll also give you the QR code if anyone wants to make a donation.
There you
to
go.
St. Patrick's.
Viewers, there's a QR code there, I think.
And
You'll be able to
If you opened it up, you could put that on your website.
pause the video or something or other. And I'll if this is a website to St. Patrick's, I'll link it in the video description below. So I'll put the details of where the church is for everyone who needs to see it.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, or if you're in the area, at least come and attend Mass. Or if not, if you can, I know times are tough, but if you can make a donation, you can see what work is going on here at the moment.
There's the Mass times if anyone wants to come to join us at Mass.
And there's the Mass times there.
St. Patrick's represents St. Patrick's. OLMC means Our Lady Mount Carmel, which is a big church up by Tesco, top of Park Road.
Brilliant.
So 9:45 on a Sunday, and then 12:30 they have a Polish Mass. So you might have some Polish friends.
That's it. Thanks again, Tony, and thank you very much for watching. So please like the video.
Okay.
And Scouse Farm,
We can have a shot in
we'll see you again soon.